Good morning, students. Today's session is for BBA third year HR specialized student, and it is for your first HR specialization, that is for Advanced Human Resource Management. In my last class, I discussed what is the line and staff organization structure and what is the reason behind arising a conflict between the line and staff officials, and what steps the organization has to adopt for minimizing the conflict that arises between these two officials of an organization. Today we will discuss a new topic of HRM, that is motivation. Today we will cover the introductory part of motivation, that is introduction, meaning, definition. After that we will discuss the process and types of motivation, and last we will discuss a very important topic of motivation, that is how motivation is a central issue, what the role motivation has to play in an organization. Before starting the exact meaning of motivation, first we have to understand what role the motivation has to play in an organization, why it is important for the organization, and how it helps the organization to get its success and to achieve its objective. The motivation is an important factor which encourages the employee to exert high level of performance or exert high level of effort towards the organizational objective. And it is a very important technique which helps the organization to achieve its success, to achieve its objective. If the organization having the motivated human resource, then it is possible for the organization to achieve its objective by utilizing the skills, knowledge, abilities of the motivated human resource. If the human resources of the organization are motivated, then they are committed, then they are loyal and dedicated towards the organization, and they do everything for the betterment of the organization, and they want to get success, and they want to achieve the objective of the organization, because they thought that their development is possible if the organization is developed. So if there is a concept of motivation, if the organization motivate the human resource, then it is possible for them to do everything in a most effective and efficient manner. And we can say that it is an important factor which encourages a person to exert high level of effort, or encourages a person to give their best level of performance towards the enterprise goal, towards the organizational goal. And motivation helps the organization to improve its productivity, improve its employees performance. Through motivation, the organization is able to improve the performance of the employees. No doubt, through motivation, by using the technique of motivation, organization is able to improve its productivity, but that doesn't give guarantee that always motivation improves the productivity of the organization. How? Generally, there are two types of motivation. First one is the positive motivation and negative motivation. If the person or employees of the organization is negatively motivated, means they are interested to work and they do their job by fearfully or forcefully. If the organization want to achieve the task from the negative and motivated employees, they have to achieve achieve their performance of task by forcefully, by fearfully. So the negative motivators doesn't want to exert high level of effort. The negative motivators only want to do whatever the organization assigned to him, and they are not interested to do more things beyond the assigned things. They want to do the exact things, they want to do assigned things, because they have a fear that if they are not able to perform these things, they will be they will be demoted, and they will be fired from the job. So they are not the real motivators, and they are not interested to do everything for the betterment of the organization, and they are not interested to do everything in a most effective and efficient manner. So for preventing the punishment, the negative motivators has to act has to act on a desired level. So for improving productivity, for improving performance, negative motivator will not help the organization. So negative motivators, and if there is a concept of negative motivation, then the organization productivity sometimes reduces. If the organization wants to improve its productivity, means the organization have to motivate the human resource on a positive way. If there is a concept of positive motivation, and if there is a concept of strong positive motivation, then only it helps the organization or employees to improve the productivity, to improve the performance, and everything should be done in a perfect, efficient, and effective manner, and the organization is able to achieve its objective in most effective and efficient manner. So motivation doesn't gives guarantee to improve the productivity unless until if there is a concept of positive motivation. Now a question arises, how the person will be motivated? How, in what way the organization motivate the human resource? For motivating the human resource, organization has to design some suitable reward systems. By showing this suitable reward system to the employees, to the workers of the organization attract them, organization motivate them to exert high level of effort, or encourages the person to give their level best performance to the organizations. So for improving the productivity, improving the performance, the organization have to have high positive motivators, and the high positive motivators helps the organization to reach its goals, and they help the organization to achieve its objective, and they want to do everything for the betterment of the organization. And motivation is a very important element for the very important element or key element for the human resource management, because the main intention of human resource management is to attract talented human resource towards the organization. After that, they train them, and they make suitable structure, suitable mechanism to retain them for longer period of time. So how it is possible, how they retain the talented human resource with them for longer period of time? With the help of the technique of motivations, it helps them to retain the talented human resource with them for longer period of time. So motivation can be done in the form of reward. Reward may be monetary and may be non-monetary. So monetary reward may be in the form of incentives, bonus, fringe benefits, and non-monetary incentives is a non-monetary reward in the form of recognition of work, advancement, growth of the employees. So motivation is a very important element for the human resource management. If they want to retain the human resource for longer period of time, so they have to design suitable reward systems. By showing this suitable attractive reward system, they can able to retain the human resource with them for longer period of time. Next comes to meaning of motivation. What is the exact meaning of motivation? In simple language, we can say that it is a process which encourages a person to exert high level of effort towards the organizational goal. Means it is a technique which helps the organization's employees to give the level best performance towards the organizational objective, and it helps the organization to improve its productivity. The word motivation is derived, the term motivation is derived from the word motive. It comes from the word motive. Motive means what? Motive means move. So what has to move? What movement take place in case of motivation? In case of motivation, a person has to move from present state of mind to desired state of mind. Means whatever the organization wants, what performance the organization wants, accordingly the person has to move to that one through the technique of motivation. So in case of motivation, the person is moved from the present condition, present state of mind to the desired state of mind. Means if the organization want to improve its productivity, want to increase the performance of the employees, then through the motivation, they can move the person from the present condition to the desired condition. Here the desired condition means improvement of productivity, increase of productivity, improvement of performance. Now, in present situation, employees' performance is not up to the mark, and employees' productivity and performance is not sufficient. Organization want more work from the employee. Through the technique of motivation, it helps the organization to move the employee from present condition to present state of mind to desired state of mind. So here what has to move? Here the person's present state of mind has to move from here the person has to move from present state of mind to desired state of mind. And motivation is always internal to the human, internal to the employees. And if the person will motivated, then the person's inner state, means the person's internal state of mind activates, and that directs that person to exert high level of effort, and that encourages the person to increase the performance, that encourages the person to give their level best to the organization for achieving its objective. Through the motivation, the organization through the motivation, organization is able to change the mindset, change the behavior of an employees. So motivation helps the organization to improve the employees or productivity and performance. So motivation is always internal to the employees. If the person will be motivated, then the person interested to do everything for the betterment of the organization, and they want to do everything in a most effective and efficient way. Next comes to definition of motivation. Motivation is defined by various experts in various ways. Here I take two definitions for our discussion. First, I want to discuss the definitions given by Stephen P. Robbins. He said that motivation is a willingness to exert high level of effort towards the organizational goal. Means according to Stephen P. Robbins, motivation is nothing. It is a process which encourages a person to exert high level of effort, encourages a person to provide level best of performance to the organization, so that the organization can able to achieve its objective in a most efficient and effective way. But he said that until a person is motivated to exert high level of effort, if the person's need is not satisfied, means for motivating the human resource, the organization first have to identify the human needs, individual needs. After identifying such needs, if the organization shows direction to fulfilling these needs, then only the person can be interested to exert high level of effort, and then the person is interested to put more effort to achieve the organizational goal. And after that, we can say that the person can be motivated. According to P. Robbins, motivation is a willingness to exert high level of effort towards organizational goals, conditions by effort, ability to satisfy some individual needs. Means he said that organization, if want to motivate its human resource, first it has to identify what the person's requirement, what the person wants, what the person's having some needs. After identifying such needs, if the organization shows some paths or some directions to fulfilling these needs, then only the person can be interested to exert high level of effort. Next, I want to discuss another definitions given by Lutyens. Lutyens said that motivation is a process that starts with psychological and physiological deficiency or needs that activate human behavior that is aimed at goal or incentive. Means he said that motivation is a process, and that starts with identifying the need and deficiency of a person. After identifying the needs of a person, if the organization shows some path for fulfilling these needs, that can help the employee to exert or to that encourages the employee to put high level of effort. Means he said that motivation starts with identifying need. If the organization shows some path for fulfilling these needs, fulfilling these needs in the form of incentive, then only the person can be motivated. Every psychologist or expert says same meaning related to motivation. Motivation is a process which helps the employees, or which encourages the employee to exert a high level of effort if the individual's needs can be satisfied. Next comes to the process of motivation. How the organization motivate the human resource through three steps. By adopting three steps, organization can able to motivate its human resource. First, motivation starts with identifying the need of a person. Motivation starts with identifying the deficiency of a person. The need of a person is different from person. The need is different from person to person. So if the organization wants to motivate a human resource, first it has to start with identifying the need, what the persons require. Some person having interest in monetary aspect, some person having interested in non-monetary aspect. The person who having interested in monetary aspect, they want incentives, bonus, fringe benefits. And the person who having interest in non-monetary aspect, they have interest in recognition of work, advancement, and growth. So first, if the organization want to motivate its human resource, first it has to start with identifying the needs. After identifying the needs, they have to show they have to show various paths. They have to show the directions to the employee through which these deficiencies can be fulfilled. So the person's need can be fulfilled by achieving some incentives. So for fulfilling the needs, the organization have to show various paths to the employees for achieving its needs. So it starts with identifying the need and ends with satisfying the needs. So first it starts with identifying it. After it shows various paths, various directions to the employee for fulfilling these deficiencies. When the employee reaches to achieve the incentives, at that time the individual's need is also satisfied, as well as organizational need also can be satisfied. Next comes to types of motivation. Broadly, there are two types of motivation. First one is the positive motivation, and second one is the negative motivation. So what is positive motivation? What is negative motivation? Let me explain. What is a positive motivation? Positive motivation is also called as pull mechanism. Positive motivators are always interested to exert high level of effort willingly, and it is based on suitable reward. By designing suitable reward system, organization can motivate its human resource. The reward may be in the form of monetary, may be in the form of non-monetary. Positive motivators always help the organization to do everything in a most effective and efficient manner, and they want to achieve the organizational objective in a better way. And the positive motivators always do everything which is better for the organization, and they always think for the betterment for the organization, and they want to do more tasks that is not assigned to him, and they want to develop the organization, because they thought that because they think that if the organization is developed, then only it is possible for them to develop himself. So positive motivators are the real motivators who are satisfied with the organization, who are loyal, dedicated, committed to the organization. Whatever they make commitment, they try to fulfill these things. So positive motivators are the real motivators who help the organization to achieve its success, to achieve its objective. So for getting success, for survival, positive motivation is highly necessary for the organization. Next comes to negative motivation. What is a negative motivation? Negative motivation is also known as push mechanism, and it is based on fear or force. Means if the organization want to achieve more tasks from the employee, and if the organization wants to improve the productivity of the organization, and the employee, if the employee is not motivated positively, then the organization has to achieve its objective, has to achieve its task in the way of punishment, in the form of punishment, or in the form of fear or force. So negative motivation create anger and frustration. Negative motivation doesn't leads to high performance. Negative motivation, negative motivator always try to avoid punishment. So for avoiding punishment, whatever is required, they want to do only this thing. So if there is a concept of negative motivation, then only then it not only helps the organization to achieve the objective in a most effective and efficient manner. So organization should have to be a positive motivator. Next comes to our last topic, that is our motivation. How motivation is a central issue. How motivation is an important factor for the organization, and what role it has to play. How it helps the organization to achieve its objective, and in what way it helps the organization. First, it identifies the employee's potentialities. Means motivation helps the organization or employees to identify their potentialities. Means if there is a system of motivation, means if the organization shows some attractive rewards to the employees, or shows some mechanism to satisfy the needs of human resource, then the person are interested to exert high level of effort, and the persons are interested to use their all potentialities, use all their abilities to achieve the organizational objective and to fulfill their needs. So motivation helps the employees to identify their potentialities. Next, it converts the potentialities into performance. After identifying the potentialities, motivation. After identifying the potentialities by motivation, organization converts these potentialities into performance. Means by using the ability skills of a human resource, organization try to improve its productivity. So through motivation, it is possible by the organization to identify the improve the creativity, innovative skill of a human resource, and by utilizing these things, they can able to achieve its objective in a most effective and efficient manner. Next one, it converts the employees into committed and loyal. Motivation helps the employee to loyal, committed, and dedicated. How? If there is a positive motivation, and if the employee is positively motivated, then the organization able to create a strong positive image of the company in the minds of the employee. So the employees are satisfied with the organization, and they want to do everything for betterment of the organization. So positive motivators are always committed and loyal to the organization, and whatever the commitment they they give to the organization, they want to, or they try to fulfill this commitment. So always motivation satisfy the human resource, and it creates a sense of commitment and loyal to the organization. Through it, the organization is able to achieve its performance. Next, motivated employee identified alternative method for performing the task. If there is a high motivation, if the employee is motivated positively, then he try to do everything in a most effective and efficient manner. So for doing everything in most effective and efficient manner, they want to adopt the better method for, or they want to adopt the alternative method for performing the job. They want to adopt a method which gives them success, which by using this method, they can able to do their job, able to perform their job in most effective and efficient manner. No doubt the alternative, the best method having some difficulties, but the positive motivator always try to accept these things, always adopt the alternative method for performing their task. So it is possible for the organization to achieve its objective within the stipulated time and able to achieve the objective in the most effective and efficient manner. Next, motivation helps the employees to use their innovative and creative skills to offer ideas. Motivated employees always do everything in a most effective and efficient way, and they always think for the betterment of the company. So for that reason, they provide various ideas, they provide innovative creative ideas to the organization, and they make various ideas by using their innovative and creative skills. So by using their skills, whatever the idea they suggest to the organization, if these ideas implemented by the organization, then it helps them to get success. Next, motivated employees exert all their energies towards the job. So motivated employees means highly motivated, positively motivated employees always try to exert all their energy towards the job, because they thought that if the organization is developed, then only it is possible for their development. So if they want to develop, they want to develop the organization first. So for doing everything in a effective and better way, whatever the energy is required, the positive motivator always try to put. So the positive motivators always use their energies, always use their total potentialities for achieving the objective, for completing a task, so that every task can be completed in a most effective and efficient way. Next, it helps to development of HR. If there is a concept of motivation, then it's possible for developing the human resource. How? If the person is, or if the employee is positively motivated, then he try to adopt better things, and they try to do everything in a most effective and efficient manner. So for that reason, they want to develop their skills, knowledge, abilities. So by developing the skills, knowledge, and abilities, they uses these things for doing everything in a most effective and efficient manner. So if there is a positive motivation, that helps to the development of human beings. Next, motivation helps the employee to behave positively and maintain a good relation. Means if the employee is positively motivated, he always satisfied with the organization, and a strong positive image create in the mind of the employees regarding the organization. So he always behave in a positive manner, and always try to maintain a good relationship with the organization. If there is a positive motivation, then only it is possible to maintain a healthier relationship between the employer and employee, and between the individual also. So if there is a concept of positive motivation, so the motivation, then the concept of industrial unrest can be removed. Next, motivation helps with dealing of high technology. How it helps with to deal with high technology? If the organization implement a latest technology inside the organization, means there is some changes arises in the organization, and the employees always hesitate to accept such changes. They thought that if they are not able to adjust with these changes, there are many chances for losing the jobs. So if there is a concept of motivations, then the employees are interested to accept these new changes and accept to work with such changes, so that they can able to do able to perform their job in a most effective and efficient manner. So motivation helps to deal with the latest technology, motivation helps to deal with the changes that initiated in the organization. Next, motivation helps to achieve organizational objective. The main ultimate objective of motivation is to achieve the organizational objective. Organization want to motivate its human resource for achieving the objective by encouraging them to exert high level of efforts. If they put their total potentialities, they put high effort for improving the productivity, then only it is possible for the organization to achieve its objective. Next, motivation helps in increasing efficiency and productivity. If the person is motivated positively, then they want to do everything in a most effective and efficient manner. They want to improve the productivity of the organization because they thought that their success, their development is possible with the organizational development. So for developing the organization, for achieving the organization, they want to do everything in a most effective and efficient manner. So for improving the productivity, they want to do everything. They have to do everything in a most perfect way, and they put their effort. They use their all potentialities to increase the efficiency, increase the productivity of the organization. Next comes to motivation helps the human resource to utilize other resources in better way. If the human resources are motivated positively, then they utilize the other resources of the organization in a perfect way. Means they are satisfied with the organization. They always think about the betterment of the company. So for that reason, whatever they want to do, that is for betterment of the company. So they produce the goods, so they improve the productivity by reducing the wastage. Without any wastage, they want to improve the productivity, and by using other resources in an efficient way, in a perfect way, they want to improve the productivity and performance of the employees. Next, motivation helps to do everything in a coordinated and cooperated manner. If there is a positive motivation, then the employees are satisfied with the organization. Then there is no concept of arising conflict within the organization, and every work can be done in a coordinated and cooperated manner. And in an organization, it is possible to maintain a healthier relationship between the employer and employees of the organization. So motivation helps to create a cooperative aspect in the organization, and it helps to do everything in a coordinated and cooperated manner. And last, motivation helps to minimize the conflict. How? If the person is motivated, if the person is motivated, then he is satisfied with the organization culture, with the organization system. So there is a concept of maintaining good relationship or healthier relationship between the employer and employee of the organization. There is no chances for arising conflict within the individuals, because all are positively motivated, and they want to do everything for the betterment of the company. So if the person is positively motivated to a large extent, we can capable to minimize our conflicts. So motivation plays a very important role for achieving the organizational success, for achieving the organizational objective. So nowadays it is a main intention of human resource department, and every organization's human resource department try to motivate its human resource in a large extent, so that it is possible for them to achieve the objective to face the global challenges, global changes in most effective and efficient manner. Because if they have the motivated human resource, then only it is possible for them to face any challenges, because the human resource are the only resource who help them to achieve its objective. So for that reason, if they want to use their human resource in a most effective and efficient way, and if they want to use the talents of human resource, they have to motivate human resource in a large extent. So this is all about the concepts of motivation, and how motivation is important for the organization. This is for our today's class. Thank you.